Hi, today I'm going to show you how I make the powerful, energy boosting, glowing green smoothie, or I call it a glowing green power juice. So I'm just going to demonstrate it. It's very easy. It's better if you actually drink the smoothie in the morning because it's going to give you all the nutrients that you need that's going to sustain you throughout the day, and also crave all of your sweet cravings and give you the energy boost that you need, especially during a work day. Okay, so I have my Vitamix here and all of my ingredients. I normally use the 80-20 rule, which means 80% vegetables, 20% fruit. Okay, so you have more of the nutrients that's coming from the green. So first I am going to put in instead of water, I actually use green tea, but today I don't have green tea, so I'm just going to use regular water. And I normally start off with 2 cups of water. And you put in the liquid first in your Vitamix because it's going to liquefy everything. So that's the first thing that you put. And then I add all of the beautiful greens. First thing, I put in the spinach. And I read that it's much better to store your spinach fresh in a salad spinner. So normally it's like a handful like that. And you just put it in there. And you add a little bit more. Okay. So spinach, baby spinach, organic preferred, is your base. And then you add in kale. So in the 80-20 rule, you have at least 5 super greens. So I use baby spinach, kale, I also use green leafy lettuce, arugula if you have it, and celery. Okay, so I'm going to add in the kale. I took out the stems, the bottom stems, because sometimes it gets really rooty, it has that root taste. And then I add in my celery. Just put it in there, make sure. The Vitamix is very powerful. You don't have to chop it into small pieces, but sometimes I just kind of chop it so it's faster. And then and then the green leafy lettuce. I like this because it has full of alkaline and it actually is a cleansing vegetable. So you just put that in there like that, and it has a neutral taste, so you get more of the flavor rather than the aftertaste. And then I add in the American parsley. I used to try cilantro, but cilantro has a strong taste, parsley doesn't, but this also has a lot of ingredients and nutrients that will cleanse your stomach. Okay, so first I will cover that, make sure the top lid is on. I'm going to make it face this way. So I have the programmable Vitamix. So what I do is I put it into the smoothie setting and I just turn it on. I had to use the tamper because it wasn't grinding like usual. Okay, so now look at what happened with the vegetables. Okay, now that I'm done with that, I'm now going to add the 20%, which is the fruits. So what I normally do is I'm going to make, I didn't use the carrots, because I make the carrot juice separate. Usually I make that over the weekend because you have to actually drain the pulp out of the juice, but it is a good enhancement. Normally you mix carrots, apple, and ginger, and you make a separate juice and you use that as a booster. See here, I have everything frozen. The bananas, I have pears, lemon, apples, and pineapples. very important to have pineapples. So you just drop it all in there. The pears is going to give you the sweetness, but it also has a lot of cleansing benefits. I add a whole banana to it because banana gives you energy. Okay, also is high in potassium, so good for high blood pressure. And then for apples, I use the Granny Smith green apples. It's for sweetness, but it's not too sweet. Okay, and I also sometimes enhance it with guava. Alright, because that's high in vitamin C. Now make sure it's all kind of like mixed in there. And then I'm going to add in my favorite, pineapples. Okay, cut it in chunks beforehand. And then, another important ingredient, because this is going to balance all of the flavors of the vegetables and the fruits together, is the lemon. So I normally put in a whole lemon. Today I'm going to add in extra. And then you put it in the smoothie setting, and then you turn it on. Now as an enhancement, I also add in chia seeds. Make sure you don't put in your chia seeds raw. You actually soak it overnight. That way you don't fill your stomach with chia seeds because they expand overnight. Okay, so I'm just gonna put in like 3 teaspoons. And then because I want to make a meal out of this, I have the GNC lean shake, and I just normally add about a teaspoon, maybe a little extra. And then I will grind it. Now you notice I didn't add the honey because I used that last, because I want to see how the sweetness is going to blend in with the vegetables. And then I put it in the smoothie setting again and turn it on. So now we're going to taste it and see the mix of the sweetness. And I normally just use like my cup here. Can use maybe a teaspoon of honey, and this is good honey because it is the wildflower honey. So if you have allergies, it's gonna help you build up an immune system against pollen. And then what you do is just don't use the smoothie setting, but just turn it on to like 1 and stir it. If you notice, I didn't add any ice, but you can if you want, because I don't want to dilute my my smoothie. So now you have it, and you just pour it into a cup. I use the GNC special shake cup. It has the you know, the wire whisk in the middle, so if you need to shake it up, you know, sometimes it can't go all the way to the bottom of the glass. Oh, sorry, this is this one. And then just bring it to work or anywhere you're going, and you're ready.